Good morning, Professor. After reading through the body ritual among the Nacirema, so many takes we can take from it. Initially, I had to read it a couple of times. And after a while, I realized that it was talking about American society. Uh, well, I have some few notes here that I'm going to piggyback off. That's okay. Um, but the body ritual among the Nacirema is a satirical anthropological essay written by Horace Miner. Um, the essay describes the peculiar rituals and practices of a fictional tribe called the Nacirema, which is actually spelled America backwards. Here we have Horace pretty much discuss, compare the creation of spells and crafts, but actually referring to doctors and their obsession with the mouth. Pretty much just going and talking about the oral hygiene that we as Americans have, and referring to dentists and their people's obsessions with their bodies, and pretty much how the American culture pretty much is in a sense compared to the rest of the world with Europeans and everybody around us. Um, he was pretty much trying to um, highlight the ethnocentric and the cultural relativeness that has often existed. Um, by comparing us to another tribe. I know in the beginning he talks about our hero, which was referring to George Washington. Um, so pretty much, it was a great read. I really enjoyed it. Made me kind of open up my eyes because sometimes we don't really um, focus too much on our culture in a sense. We focus more on other people's culture and what they do, and whatever they do is kind of weird to us and not the norm compared to what we're used to here in America in a sense. Um, but a communication pattern practice ritual that I technically practice with my family as a Hispanic culture would be Day of the Dead. We pretty much create an altar with our loved ones or friends that have passed away, and it's a way that we generally celebrate them and remember them, and that we could bring closer to them. By that, we create this altar, put their picture up, decorate it with flowers, add certain foods that they like, certain drinks that they like. We keep that up for a while, and then we actually go visit them at the cemetery. And at the cemetery as well, we bring what they like. It's kind of our way to stay connected with our ancestors, and a way to pay respects and hold them and just hold them closer to us. Not simply, forget them. That's the last thing we do. Instead of mourning them, we celebrate them in a good way. As to question three, describing how these patterns, practice, rituals, or events have changed throughout history. They haven't really changed much. If anything, I've seen them fluoresce more. You have certain movies like Coco from Disney talks about the Day of the Dead, and I feel like it's a great way to enrich our culture and our celebration for the dead, and get that message out there. And I've even seen other cultures. I've even seen some Americans that are not even Hispanic or Mexican celebrate Day of the Dead now by creating their own altar, and you see people more getting involved and intrigued by this tradition that we have in the Mexican culture. As to question four, briefly share your evaluation of these changes and beneficial to detrimental U.S. culture. I don't see this celebration or perhaps this practice in my culture being so detrimental to the U.S. culture. Of anything, um, I believe that the more cultures we welcome into the U.S., um, the more uh, the U.S. flourishes. I mean, the U.S. is built by immigrants. Um, we did settle here, so I feel like this country benefits a lot from having different cultures enrich it. And I could to mention, being here from LA, you see so many cultures: Filipino culture, Chinese culture, Japanese, Korean, Salvadorian, Mexican, and it's just a beautiful thing to have around. You learn from them. You get to taste all the delicious food. So if anything, I feel like it only enriches the U.S. culture. Um, Obviously, our cultures are not here to change what American norms are. If anything, we just want to intertwine and um, coexist, share our beliefs, share our cultures, learn from each other. because I believe that's the beauty of our culture. When we want to share, we want to know, we want to let people know how we celebrate things, and as well, we want to learn from other people. So yeah, this has been my take on this article. I appreciate you sharing with us, and yeah, thank you so much.